this Roald Dahl Day Express session coming live to you. But of course, you can always watch it back. So my name's Nicole. It's so good to have you here with me. Are you excited for Roald Dahl Day tomorrow? I am. Roald Dahl is, of course, one of the best children's authors to have ever existed. And it's always, that's my favorite thing about September back in schools, is my school usually does like a dress up day. So there's lots of fantastic Mr. Foxes around. There's some BFGs with the huge ears. So I'm sure you're getting really excited for how you're celebrating Roald Dahl. And I'm delighted that you've joined us for this session that is on iPads. So if you're looking for the desktop or the Chrome version of this workshop, go back to the email that Dahl sent you out this morning and make sure you head on to that link. This one is for iPads only. As you'll see here, we've got our bit.ly page. So this is our challenge today for Adobe Express. Just type that in, put my teeth in, type that into your browser, or with your iPad, you can of course scan the QR code and it will bring you straight here. So why are we having two sessions? Why is there an iPad session and a desktop version? Well, over summer, Adobe Express had a major update for the desktop, and it is so powerful. And I cannot wait until some of those features join the iPad versions very soon, hopefully around Christmas time. So we're going to have some split live lessons in the meantime, but I'm so glad that you're here with me. So throughout our session, I'll give you time to watch what I'm doing, and then I'll give you time to have a little play and get creative. If you successfully complete our challenges today, you will get an email after this workshop from Dahl where you can ask him for a little bit of swag. He'll send you out some stickers and things like that to your class. And then if you go on and do even more, say you go and deliver this workshop tomorrow for pupils in younger classes in your school, then you might be able to twist his arm and get some more swag sent out to you. So let's get started. I will put, if you haven't got a chance to scan that QR code, you can type that in at the bottom there. Let's get on and have a look at what challenge one is. So we are going to create a book cover of a fake Roald Dahl book in the similar style to James and the Giant Peach. Things to include: a very large fruit, an interesting background, title text in a funky format, and then some characters and objects. Okay, think we can do that. Are you up for the challenge? I know I am. I'll come back to challenge 2 whenever we finish challenge 1. So what am I going to need? I'm going to need the Adobe Express apps. Here they are. I'm just going to go into the Adobe Express one here, or if you're using an older version, it's called Adobe Spark Post. So here we go. I'm just going to, you've got loads of options for templates at the top here. Do you see that? There's loads. If you scroll along and go to the very end, we've got book covers. So I'm going to click on that one. I'm going to go for a book cover because I want to recreate James and the Giant Peach, but it's going to be Nicole and what? Nicole and what? I'm a big fan of alliteration, I'll be honest with you. So I'm probably going to go with Nicole and the large lemon. So in the background, you're going to be thinking of a type of title like that with your own name. I'm just going to hold that to the side. That's probably not going to be the font I use, but I just want to remember what my title is as I go on and do this. So again, if you're new to Adobe Express, absolutely everything you can see can be changed. You can tap on the writing. You get loads of options to change it. If you tap on the background, you get a couple of options to change it. So I'm going to change the color. So this is, well, I'm probably going to put in a photograph as my background, even though it's lemon, so it's probably going to be something yellowy. And you know what? I'm going to go find a photo. So I'm going to go to the plus button here, the add, and I'm going to search in Adobe stock. So I'm going to search. Adobe has hundreds and thousands of photos for us to choose from. It can get overwhelming. There's a lot in there. And I'm going to search for, now, what type of fun background could happen for my lemon, my large lemon? Where could it be? Maybe it's going to be in a desert. A large lemon in a desert. Wait, yeah, I've got an idea. Okay, I'm going to roll with this. I'm going to go with a large lemon in a desert. But you could choose, like the example on the bit.ly/RDD iPad, Roald Dahl Day iPad. You could choose the one that Kyle did one on the oversized orange, and he put it in the sea. So you can really let your imagination run wild here. Oh, that just made me think about space. Space would be a great one. Maybe someone will do that. Okay, so I'm going to find a background that I think fits nicely and kind of looks like I could put a lemon tree in it, and just want it as a background. So I don't want it to be too busy right now. And I'm just, once I've tapped it and it finished buffering, it turned into a tick. This add one becomes blue and it's added in. Now, where do I want this? To move freely or pinned to background? I want it pinned to the background. There we go. I can tap done because I'm happy enough with how it looks. Just going to tap done. And I want to now add in my large lemon. So let me tap the plus again and let me go to Adobe Stock. And I'm going to search for a lemon. And of course I can make it larger myself. I don't need to search for a large lemon. These are very nice. Nice choices of lemons. Oh, like this one has a little leaf at the top. That might be my winner, in fact. I'm just going to choose that one and add it in. I want to be able to move this one freely because I want to be able to resize it, change the position. I don't want it to be at the back. So I'm going to move freely. Oh, there is a problem. The problem is there's a big white background. So how do I get rid of that? Well, once you've tapped on your photograph, at the very bottom, you can go to remove background and you just let it buffer for a little second and ta-da, it has removed the background. That's pretty good. So I'm going to resize it because it needs to be pretty big. Now, I was thinking about having it over to this side, but I don't want the leaf to be cut off. So how can I change that? Well, options that I have, I'm going to tap through to adjust. And I'm going to go down here where it says flip H. That means it's going to flip horizontally. Ta-da! That's more like it. I like that. And I can put it in just like that. Great. Okay. Now we're looking largely lemoned. I need to now make it look like this lemon is actually sitting in the desert, because right now it kind of looks like a lemon photo on top of it. So I want to make it look a wee bit more realistic. So how can I do that? Well, if I tap on my lemon and I go to edit, I'm going to duplicate it. And when I duplicate it, I've now got two. I'm going to go back to adjust, and instead of flip H, I'm going to flip V. And I bet you've already worked that one out. That's flip it vertically. Now, the reason that I'm doing that is so that I can turn this into a shadow. And to do that, I'm going to go right down. I'm going to go right over here to looks. I'm going to see if I can get like a darker version of it. In fact, maybe enhance would be best for me. And I'm just going to darken it all down. Just going to go to the brightness, bring it down, bring the highlights down, bring the shadows down. Everything kind of looks, do you know what? It's not really working for me there. I know. I'm going to go to add again. That might work better if I was using like a reflection, like in the water. I got this idea from Kyle's video. You should definitely check it out. I'm going to go back into maybe the design assets here. I'm going to go in the design assets and I'm going to look for a shadow. And let me see if there's one that would work here for me. You know what? Actually, I need to maybe be more specific. I need a shadow that's in the shape of a circle. No, not quite what I'm looking for. Maybe I'll try photos for a circle shadow. Circle shadow. And actually what I forgot to show you was, remember, if you're trying to type speedily, or if you're trying to spell a word that maybe you're not sure how to spell on the iPad, right beside your space bar, if I just hide my ticker now, I'm sure we've all got to this page, the challenge that we're doing, you have a microphone. And I can just tap that. If it's your first time using it, you might have to click enable dictation, but I can just tap it. Circle shadow. And then that types it all out for me. So not getting what I need. So that means I'm going to have to be creative. And yeah, those are really artsy photos. So I'm just going to have to make this one work. And you know what I think will actually help me is if I drop the opacity down a bit. So if I take the opacity here, yeah, maybe looking a little closer to what I'm needing. Let me see. Ooh, okay, no, that's too light to be. Oh, there we go. Multiply was the one I needed. So that way I can still see the ripples and the texture of the sand. And I've still got this big ominous looking shadow to show how big the lemon is. What to say, the peach. So how did I do that? Good, let's try that again. So I'm going to repeat this step and then I'll give you a little bit of time to do it. So I first of all I tapped on my lemon, went to edit and duplicated it. When it was duplicated, I went over to adjust. That was so that I could flip it upside down like that. And now that it's upside down, I could go in and I could change the opacity a bit. I could go to blend and I could multiply it. Now that's still quite bright, so that's where you experiment with your looks to darken it. Even more darkened. So there are the buttons that we're exploring today. And what do I think? Do I think that one, the darker one? No, I like this one. So I'm just going to delete that one because I don't need it for now. So I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to think of your title. Don't worry, I'm going to change the writing there because it's not very good for readability. To think of your title though, because you're going to need your title to choose your large fruit and to put in a type of shadow or a reflection if you're putting it in water as well. Okay, so 5 minutes and the time is starting now to get creative. Let me put on a little bit of background music so we know we're working. Giving you 2 more minutes to get your start on. Okay, so I started doing another one there whilst we were working, but I'm going to go back to my large lemon and edit from this one. So I've got my background, I've put in my fruit, my oversized, humongous, enormous fruit, and I put in a little shadow for this one, and then on my strawberry one, I put a reflection almost in the water for that one. So now what I want to do is to really emphasize that this is huge. I need to put in something else to kind of give it some scale to show just how big it is, because that could be a normal sized lemon for all I know on top of a desert. So I'm going to need to put in something for scale. So I'm trying to think something that you normally find in a desert would be a camel, perhaps. So I could put a camel nearby to kind of show, whoa, this is huge. So I'm going to go into my Adobe stock again. I'm going to search for a camel. And I get loads of photos. There are so many photos. So what I'm looking for is, I'm looking for a camel that's kind of side on, like this one. That could be a good choice for me. Or I really like these ones because they're kind of all silhouetted. That's quite nice. I like that. So I'm going to go... I didn't realize camels were so cute looking. So I'm going to go for this first one, just because that was the one that popped out to me. So after it buffers and loads, I can now tap add one. And again, I want to move this freely. I want to get creative with it. So I'm just going to enlarge it there. And the first thing I'm going to do is go to edit and remove that background. Get rid of it. There we go. Looking good. Okay. Now this camel needs to look tiny in comparison to the lemon. So I'm going to try and put it maybe in this area here. It's not really standing out to me, because what does it need? It also needs a shadow, because then it doesn't look like it's in the same place at all. So I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to duplicate it in edit. I'm going to go to adjust and flip it upside down, move it underneath, just like that. That is good. And then I'm going to go to the opacity, drop it down a notch, go to looks and darken that, a bit too dark, I think, and go to my enhance and bring that all down. So there we go. We're now looking, it's now looking like a shadow of a camel. Maybe take saturated a wee bit more. Looks good. Okay, I can live with that. I can live with that. I can always go back and edit it later. For now, this is a pretty good start. So I now want to put in my title, and I've gone for Nicole and the Large Lemon. And I remember the challenge was to kind of get a little bit funky with it. So that means I'm going to change up my font a lot. So I want to add in some text, and I'm going to go for Nicole and the can all be on one line, and then I'll do large and lemon on separate lines, but you make it fit for you with whatever way it'll work. Again, we can just use all of our normal resizing just by dragging the circles and stretching out the lines like that. Now, I'm going to go into font. Oh, I've also got recommendations. Let's have a little look in recommendations. What does Adobe suggest for me? It's buffering some ideas. And ooh, I like this one. It's like bubble writing, neater than any bubble writing I can do. So let me see if I add that in. Yeah, pretty good. Although I need it more bold and poppy, don't I? This is a fun one. I like that. And I'm going to tap done for now on that. And I'm going to make this bigger so that it fits into the whole space of this book cover. Remember, snazzy looking titles usually make people want to pick up that book and read it. So Nicole and now I need some more text. So I'm going to add in text again. And this one's going to be large. And I'm going to do my large in all capital letters. And oh, that changed it to a very bright lemony yellow. It fits the book cover. So I'm going to change it up. I don't want to go for the exact same writing. So I'm just going to tap the icon to find more fonts like this. Let me see what fonts you're going to give me. Let me see what this one looks like. Ooh, that's quite nice. Okay, remember I said earlier that sometimes choosing your photo takes the longest? I think I've found a new thing that's going to take the longest. That's looking through all the recommendations. But of course, if you don't have recommendations coming up, then you can just go through font and scroll along the line of fonts and choose one that you think will suit your book cover. I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to change the color though. And I want the color to, in fact, maybe I want to choose a color from the lemon. So now that I've tapped on my writing and I'm on color, do you see this little droplet? This little color picker allows me to tap somewhere on the lemon and I can find which bit I really want of it. Let me see what that bit's like. No, I want a yellowier bit of it. We'll find a yellowy bit. That one looks orangey. Or I could take the green from the little leaf. I go down maybe this bit. Yeah, okay, I like that. And then all I have to do is tap done. And I've got large in here, but large needs to take up loads of space for me. All the size. Nicole and that was too large, the large. Snap it there. And then I've got a space here for lemon. Again, I'm going to add in my text and I'm just going to type lemon and resize that to fit in here. There we go. Nicole and the large lemon, and I'm going to, of course, need to change that color to match the rest of the title. I'm going to change that one to match the title too. Now, of course, the book is by Roald Dahl. This is for Roald Dahl Day after all. So I'm going to have to, in fact, it doesn't usually say by, just go straight to Roald Dahl. Not Ronald. Your iPad will try correct it to Ronald, but don't allow it. Try block that bit. And Roald Dahl can sit in under here, or it could fill up the space at the bottom. Yeah, let's do that because it's getting a wee bit busy up there. So let's snap it to the bottom. And I'm definitely going to need to change the color of that writing. So let me go and pick one of the greens from up here. See what it looks like. Not too bad. Okay, I like that. So titles and author popped in. I'm going to give you a few minutes. I'll give you 3 minutes to do your title and your author. And remember, explore all that lovely text in there, change the fonts around, make it look really snazzy and cool. Alrighties, how have we got on with that? Hope we have rocked it. So I have gone back to my strawberry one as well. And again, I was doing one of these yesterday and I keep forgetting about the awesome outline feature on your text, because that really makes it stand out, and it looks strawberry themed now, but using the yellow pips and seeds on the strawberry, the outside of a strawberry, to fill the inside of my letters here. So I've gone with two different types of font. The supersized is obviously the different one there, and it's all in capital letters, so I really like that one. I'm going to pop back over to my large lemon and do the same thing. So I'm just going to go in and edit this one. And I want to make that text pop a little bit. So all I have to do is tap on my text and then go into effects. And when I'm in effects, go down to outline. And you can see from outline, it's automatically chosen one that's kind of on your canvas. So it's picked this like blue tealy one, but I kind of want to go more the green. So I'm just going to tap the little options lines here underneath it. And instead, I'm going to, again, grab my picker. And I want to go and pick the greeny greens from here. Might change and go for a lighter green. No, I think the darker was nicer. Or of course you can just scroll along and find your outlines there. So tap done and then basically done again and go in and repeat. So change, put in the outline and change the font outline color to be whatever matches your enormous fruit, your humongous fruit, your giant one, whatever one you've chosen. And there we go. And I have to, of course, do it for Roald Dahl's name down at the bottom, just to make them pop up a little bit more. And it's a little bit easier to see on my desert background. Okay, there we go. Looking great. Now, another thing that I could add in here to kind of finish this off is a person, because I need a Nicole in here. And I want, if you think of the James and the Giant Peach covers, you can kind of think like you've got a picture of James and I want to have a picture of Nicole, but I want a full-size picture, so I'm not going to, you could do it in your classroom if you have enough space. Take a photo of your full-size body and remove the background and put it in. I'm just for now going to add and go search for Adobe stock for a girl, and I kind of want like a star jump style, because I want arms and legs out like that. Yeah, there we go. These are the type of ones I'm looking. So I'm going to go for this purple one like that. And when I tap it and it finishes buffering, I can then go to the blue add one. And I want to, again, move it freely because I want to edit this person. And I'm going to go back into my edit. The first thing I'm doing is removing the background. So it takes a little second. Ta-da! Here's my Nicole that's going to go up here. And again, I want to make it look like this lemon is truly huge, because this is the size. And I'm just going to pinch my canvas in a little bit, just pinch to zoom in. And I really want to rotate and make sure that she's sort of standing on it like that. Yeah, I love that. There we go. So now I've got Nicole and the large lemon, and that could be Nicole over there. Just like that. And I've got my camel here. You know what? I might move the camel up just because I have a lot of empty space over here. So I might, what I'll do is I want to move the camel with its shadow. So I'm going to tap on the camel. And you see when I'm in edit mode, we're just going to go nearly at the end, to the very end here, to select multiple. And that means if I tap my camel as well, I can group them. And so I've tapped it and I can just tap next and then group them. Now I can move the camel and its shadow around the place a little bit, and I could even shrink it down even more. Because for perception sizes, camel's going to have to be a bit bigger than the Nicole up here. So yeah, or I could put it even further in the distance, couldn't I? I could actually make it fill up the space over there. Yeah, that might work for me. And you know what? I could then duplicate it and put in a couple of camels. So I've got, and I could make that one even smaller because it's a bit further away. Dragging that blue dot. There's a couple of camels in the distance. Very good. I'm chuffed with that, you know. I'm pretty happy. So what I want you to do now, again, I'll give you 3 minutes for this one, is put in a picture of somebody. You can search for a star jump. You can take a picture of your actual self, get a friend to take your photo on the iPad, and just remove the background. So if you're doing one from the iPad, you're just going to go into Photos, and you're going to choose Camera so that it opens up your iPad camera and starts taking a photo of you to pop in. So you have 2 options. You can go to Adobe Stock Photos, or you can go to Camera. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to do that, and we'll go on to challenge 2. Okay, how did we get on with that one? Hopefully you've got somebody added in. I've got someone in now for my second one that I'm doing. I'm not sure which one I'm preferring more. Maybe this one, possibly. But for now, I'm going to go back to my large lemon. Here I am, Nicole and the large lemon. And you know what? I am pretty happy with that one. I'm really delighted. So I have finished. Let me go back to the challenge and check, did I finish everything it asked? So it said a very large fruit, done. An interesting background, done. The title, text, and funky format, done. Characters and objects, done. Challenge 1, tick, completed. Let's have a little look at challenge 2 then. So challenge 2, involves animation and video editing. So let's have a little look. I think that's meant to say a sneak peek. So a sneak peek, using your photo book cover from challenge 1, which we've now completed, create a video book trailer for your fictional book. Don't tell the whole story though, just give viewers a sneak peek of the adventure that awaits them. And there's an example here from Kyle and the enormous orange, or the oversized orange. And, we've got a little bit of text here. So through a series of peculiar and magical happenings, James finds himself in a giant peach with a bunch of friendly giant insects for traveling companions. Determined to find a better life, the insects bite the great peach free from its tree and launch into an amazing journey to freedom. So that's the blurb of the back of James and the Giant Peach. And because we're using the iPad version of Adobe Express, we're going to kind of change challenge 2 to suit the tools that we have. Not if you have the Adobe Express or Spark Video that looks like this, you can absolutely go and have a great attempt at that. But because I know not everybody has it, what we're going to do is we're going to do the back cover of the book that we've just made. And we're going to use this blurb, but of course we're going to have to rewrite it a little bit, aren't we? Because my name isn't James. My book is going to be about a giant fruit, but not a giant peach. It's going to be about a large lemon. So the first thing I'm going to do, and you know what, it might be a good time for me to put up this little ticker again, because if you open this website, you can do the same thing as me, which is I'm going to copy and paste the writing into my Adobe Express book covers. So all you have to do is hold down on the first word that you want, and you get these little blue circles. And I'm just going to drag the bottom blue circle down over all of the writing that I want. When I've done that, tap in the center of all that writing, and you've got options. My first option is copy, and I'm going to copy it. So that's how you copy the font. And now I can swipe and go back into my large lemon. Now that's page 1 is done. Up at the top, you'll see we've got this 1 of 1. And I'm now just going to add the back cover. So I'm just going to go down here and tap the add button. Ta-da! Inserted. Now, what I could do, in fact, I've already changed my mind. So I'm going to tap done on that and delete it. What you can do is you can duplicate your page. And I'm going to, because I want to keep the same background, and this is just going to save me a little bit of time. So instead of adding a page, I'm just going to duplicate it. So I've now got front cover and back cover. And you can see the kind of thicker blue line is highlighting which one you're on. So I'm currently on number 2. And I'm just going to double tap it to start editing the back cover of my work. So I probably don't need my camels here. I'm going to need more space for the blurb to fit in. And I probably don't need this bit. I will need font, but not that font there. And I'm going to take out the lovely Roald Dahl. And I'm just going to tap into Nicole and I'm just going to delete that and tap in the empty space to paste. Okay, so there's all the blurb that's on the bit.ly/RDD iPad. And I'm going to change this up. You can change as much of it as you want, but the bare minimum that we need to change is the name to be Nicole. And Nicole finds herself in a large lemon with a bunch of friendly giant insects for traveling companions. Determined to find a better life, the insects bite the large lemon free from its tree and launch into an amazing journey of freedom. I'm happy, okay? I can tap done. Whoa, that's a huge amount of text. So I need to make it legible somehow. And to do that, I'm going to keep my background. I'm going to lose the pretend Nicole. I'm actually going to, will I get rid of this lemon? No, I'll keep the lemon. Keep the lemon for now. I'm going to get rid of this, and I want to put in kind of a shape behind it that I can put my writing into. So you could do like a curved rectangle. I could probably find a lemon actually and put it inside the lemon. That is an idea. Let's try that one. So, I don't need to search large lemon because I can make the lemon large. I just need to search for a lemon. And here we go, got some options. I need one without any lines on it, so I'm going to go for this one. And add one in. And I can twist it around, make it pretty big to fit into the space. Now, my font is underneath that, so I'm going to need to change the order of this layer. So I'm going to go into order, and I'm just going to drag it back behind everything, except the background. Now, this font isn't the best for readability of lots of writing, so I'm going to change my font. And also I'm noticing there's all sorts of random capital letters put in there, so I want to change it up a little bit. Let's see. Oh, I like that one. Okay, so I'm going to stick with that one for now. Lemon, I'm going to come back to you perhaps. I can spread this out. I can make the font bigger. How do I make it fit in all the ways that I want it to? That's pretty good. Oh, no, my F is cut off a little bit. So there we go. I've got kind of the back cover started, but you know what? I'm thinking I might change the whole background as well. Yeah, let's get creative with the background. So I've just binned that and I've changed my mind. And that's what's great about being creative. You can change your mind as many times as you like. You can go back and say, do you know what? Yeah, I do want that photo in there again. And I'm going to make a lemon border, and I might put some insects in the background and things like that. So let's see how I can do that. I can change my color. There's my lemony background. Maybe I'll stick with a light blue so that the lemons that I then put on top of it will stand out a bit more. So I'll show you what I mean by that. Let me pop in a lemon here. And do you know what? I can actually choose lots of lemons here. They don't need to all be the same one. So if I'm going to tap on that one, I'm going to tap on this one. I'm going to put in this one too. In fact, no, I want this one. I'm going to scroll down. Any others that I really like? Yep, I like that one. And that one. Okay, 5 lemons. Loads of variety of lemons. So I'm going to add those 5 in. And as you can see, I can just tap on each one, change the color very quickly. There we go. I'm just going to resize them like that. Now, what I can do as well, of course, is change the order. So if I did want it to be like poking behind this one, for example, just drag it back like that. Bit of resizing, spin around perhaps, change them all about, and just have lots of lemons in the background. So we kind of know this is a lemon themed book. I'm going to change that order so it's poking behind there. And there we go. Now I probably need, I like to create a wee bit of balance and a little bit of symmetry. So I'm probably going to need to put one over here. So I'm just going to duplicate this one and drag it over like so. All right, now I don't think the contrast between my background color is, that's a bit better. It wasn't strong enough for me, that they were blending too much into each other. That looks a little bit better. And now I wanted some insects. Yes, some insects for, like James and the Giant Peach has as his companions. I'm going to choose what insects I have as my companion in this book. And I have a ladybug. And oh, do you know what? I'm going to put it in shapes. I'm going to stick to the theme that I'm going with on the back, which is kind of more cartoony than realistic. So I'm going to, but you can do a realistic one if you want and just remove the backgrounds. I'm just going to stick with the shapes. And oh, lots to choose from. Let me see. I'm going to choose this one. Add it in, and this, of course, is going to be red. A red little ladybug. Turn it around, spin it around. That could be right in there. And some more insects. So whilst I add in lots more insects, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to start pasting in your font, your writing here for the back cover. And remember to change up the words a little bit so that it becomes personal to you, your story. You can change as much of it or as little of it as you want. And I'll see you back in about 3 to 5 minutes. If you've done your writing, start putting in your background shapes. Okie dokies. How did we get on with that? Hope we all got changing the words a little bit, got this changed up so that it matched our theme. I'm just playing around now with the color of my large lemon on the back cover. I was just having a little look. So here's something good that you can do. You can tap that now to number 2 because we've got 2 pages to our project. And having a little look here going, does that look like that could be the front and back cover? Kind of. You would really need a good spine for your book that would merge the two of those together. But I don't mind having 2 different styles because it's just about getting creative and exploring the tools that I have at my fingertips. So I maybe settle on one of those, or I can go back to my deep green. It was quite nice. I don't mind that. So this is the thing about me, as you'll know, is I just love going in and checking it out and changing it up and thinking, how can I make my work better? So constantly looking for ways to improve a little bit. Oh, that's a little bit easier to read, I think. Looking at different ways that it makes it easier to read my work, to see it, to view it. And the great thing is that whenever we've got creative is that we share our work, because it's wonderful that you've done something brilliant and you've left it sitting on your iPad, but sometimes we want to share it with the world and we want to be able to exhibit our work. And there's a couple of ways you can do that. So in the top right-hand corner, you can see we've got a download button and a share button. So download is pointing down and the share button is the arrow pointing up. If I want to download, it's going to ask, do I want to just download this page that I'm currently working on, or do I want to download all of my pages? And what way do I want them to be exported? Do I want transparent backgrounds? Not really in this case, I don't have any transparent backgrounds. Or do I want it as an image? I want it as an image and I want all pages. So I can just tap download and let it work its magic for a minute. And ta-da, super quick, it's saved to the camera roll. Now, if I wanted to share this link further afield, put it out there, I could click the share button. Again, I want all pages as images. And instead of download, I'm going to tap share. Now it'll give me a couple of options. That could be to airdrop it to my class teacher. If I had Seesaw, I could send it there. I could send it to Google Classroom. I could just save them here, just to save my project and give it somewhere else to live. There's Teams as well that it can go to. So there's lots of places for you to exhibit your work. And of course, you could print it. So once it's saved to your camera roll, you could print it out, and that could make a pretty cool display. So that is going to do us there for our iPad challenge for Roald Dahl Day. So Roald Dahl Day is, of course, tomorrow. So why not go around some of the classes in your school and do this creative challenge with them? And if you do it, be sure to send Dom an email and let him know how many pupils you did this with, and he will send you some swag. And you'll be able to find a whole load of other Adobe Live lessons that are coming out very soon. We'll, of course, be doing some for iPad, and then we'll be doing them as well for the desktop and laptop versions, just because the two apps are now, the two processes are different on the different devices until we get some new features coming to iPad. So thank you so much for your time today. Have a wonderful afternoon, and I'll see you again soon. Bye, everyone.